You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
And welcome to Music City here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm Alan Bergen in the Tony Trapasso Memorial booth here just south of St. Louis. Jonathan Leach, the chief cook and waddle washer, will be sliding in the booth just in a few moments. But it is championship night here with the iSNF Cup Series. And I tell you what, I cannot be more excited than I am right now as these guys take on Nashville Superspeedway. Like I said, just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And I got to tell you, it's been a fun season. They started in Daytona, got rocking and rolling in Daytona, and now here we are. So we're going to bring up the points right now. Angel Hernandez is your points leader coming into tonight with Justin Barkley running second in points. Third in points goes to Charles Roberson. Tristan Bailey right now sits fourth in points. That is your top four. That's who we got to pay attention to tonight. It's going to be anybody's race in the top four. Adrian San Jose Arenas driving for Stuart Haas sits fifth in points. Franz Bertschneider sits sixth in points. Jeff Weimer seventh in points. Eighth in points goes to Isaac Wilson. Rhea Ferris 10th in points. Or 9th in points. Chris Smith is 10th in points driving at Wood Brothers Racing number 21. Steven Sear 11th in points. Chris Van Maastricht is 12th in points. Joey Maines, 13th in points. Christian Delgado is 14th in points. So there's a lot of tight points battles going on right now in the grand scheme of things. We take a look deeper into points. More noticeable drivers. Rosa Laszlo, right there in 16th in points. Tyler Bentley, who I don't see in the field tonight. He is all the way back there in 31st. That is the rundown of your points here tonight. We want to pay special attention to the top four. So we bring up the race information here from the Music City 200. 88 degrees, 34% relative humidity under clear sky. A 10 mile an hour wind. And the track temperature is 107. You can cook an egg on this track. It's all concrete, just like Dover, but it is a tri-oval. As we got some noticeable subs here today. Jeff Weimer is on serving a one-race suspension, and Maddie Moniak will be subbing for Jeff Weimer. Maddie Fornes will be subbing for Rosa Laszlo in that number 6 car for RFK. The 17 car, usually driven by Larry Fairman, is going to be driven by Derek Cook. Jimmy Johnson in the 77 car, subbing for Jack Yeagerman. French Bertschneider, usually driving that 8 car. Hunter Cole will be subbing for him. Mike Iskander, usually driving the number 1 car. Fabricio Lamana will be subbing for him. Jackson Brewer will be subbing for Tim Henderson in that number 99 car. Matthew Scary Gary will be subbing for Bob Wyckoff. Chase Harden will be subbing for Joshua Grosso in that number 23 car. And Danny Solo will be subbing for Isaac Wilson. And we had a late entry also in the 11 car is Austin Reedy. Tonight, your stage point, or your stages will be 45 and 90. We'll go 150 laps here, 200 miles with 60% fuel, 3 extra sets of tires, and 3 sets of 3 attempts at a green, white checker flag. I don't know about you, but I gotta tell you, I'm excited. So we await the arrival of Jonathan Leach. But we are definitely in for a treat here tonight. And let's see here. Let's do some track stacks here for Nashville. Jack Yeagerman is the hometown. This would be a home race for Jack Yeagerman. Unfortunately, he is not here tonight, as it looks like we are going to get ready to go qualifying. Today we've had 3 Cup Series races here, 2 different winners. The defending winner is FJ Real, who has won the last 2 events in a row. 30 drivers from the U.S., 4 Canadian drivers, 1 Mexican driver, nobody from Hungary, 1 driver from Spain, 1 driver from Norway, 1 driver from Brazil, and 1 driver from Sweden. And those are your track facts here tonight as we get set for qualifying. And we will go ahead and head down to the racetrack just as soon as we get drivers into their cars for qualifications. Once again, we would like to thank everybody for making SRM and iSNF Cup Series your entertainment destination here on a Saturday evening. And once again, we are live from Nashville, Tennessee with 28 cars strong, I believe. All right, looks like the session went ahead and jumped on over to qualifying. See if we can catch anybody. Well, looks like we're not going to be able to catch anybody on track at the moment. But it does look like Tristan Bailey is the quick time overall. As these guys are just buzzing right through qualifying right now. So Tristan Bailey looks like it's going to be your provisional pole. And his best lap was a 30.40. 30.40. And I don't know if they are lining these guys up by pole position or not. Let me just fix that right on up there. Once again, Curtis Kelly is going to be your provisional pole sitter. So it looks like we only got a couple of drivers left to qualify. It's like Austin Reedy's going to put it on the pole. The 30.35. Right, as we get ready to go for the race here. And here is your starting lineup. On the pole will be Austin Reedy. To his outside will be one of the championship 4, Angel Hernandez. To his outside will be Curtis, or on the inside of row number 2 will be Curtis Kelly. To his outside will be Tristan Bailey there in that number 19 car. Matty Fornes driving that RFK number 6 for Larry Fairman, puts it on the inside of row number 3. On the outside of row number 3 will be Chase Harden. Justin Barkley will be on the inside of row number 4, along with Jared McCauley. Adrian Arenas will be on the inside of row number 5. Jackson Brewer will be on the outside and then at P10. Fabricio Lamana will be on the inside of row number 6, along with Jimmy Johnson will be on the outside of row number 6. There we go. Starting 13th will be Christian Delgado. Joey Maines to his outside. Charles Roberson will start 15th. Derek Cook will start 16th. Steven Sear will start 17th. 18th will go to Robert Lynch Jr. Jason Ricketts will start 19th. Chris Smith will start 20th. 21st will be May Shook. Rhea Ferris will start in that 22nd position. John Hopley will start 23rd. Matty Moniak will start 2nd, subbing for Jeff Weimer. Hunter Cole will start 25th. Danny Solo will start 26th. Shane Posey will start 27th. Chris Van Matrix will start 28th. Matt Metler will start 29th. And rounding out your field here tonight, well, I would say rounding out your field will be Michael Gervey. And that is your starting lineup here tonight from the Music City 200. As these guys get ready to rock and roll here. 150 laps, 200 miles. And I am pumped for this one. These guys will work their way down the back straightaway. Angel Hernandez on the pole. Austin Reed on the pole. Andrew Hernandez to his outside. These guys work their way down through the middle of the turn 1 or 3, 4 complex. And there's only one thing left to do. Barney's got the flag in his hand. Got the green flag. Oh boy, here we go. Down to the Geico's restart zone. Let's pull them seatbelts tight one more time, and we are green flag racing here in the season finale here in Nashville. Looks like we got a car already around. "150 laps, here we go." Austin Reedy out to the early advantage. Driver out of Townsend, Delaware. Curtis Kelly to his out to right behind him. That 45 car, Angel Hernandez on the outside of Tristan Bailey. Affiliation with Joe Gibbs Racing. Here comes Tristan Bailey looking to the inside. This track's going to be very difficult. It's going to be hard on tires. 2311 driver, your current points leader, trying to walk out of here with the season 7 points championship. Wow. We're looking at Maddie Fornes right there in that number 6 car, subbing for Larry Fairman. There's all kinds of battles on the racetrack. Definitely going to want to choose your battles wisely. Race the racetrack, as Chase Harden has set the fastest lap of the race so far. Right now, everybody's getting a little strung out, getting settled in. The long 150 laps here. And they are just in line. They're going to have to ride around for the first 100 or so laps. And then it's a 50 lap dash to the end of the race here. Oh my. Oh my. And this is one of my favorite views to come down the back straightaway, but we definitely do not pay workman's comp here at SRM if this cameraman gets hurt. It's got to be one of my favorite views. Here's we are looking at Jason Ricketts going underneath Chris Smith, and that's a battle for the 17th position. He's going to get that pretty handily. Jason Ricketts out of Dawsonville, Georgia. And there's just so many battles going on here in the back. It's Maze Shook in that 31 car, and he's battling underneath Danny Solo, subbing for Isaac Dub Wilson, I should say. Lots of great camera views for you today. Here comes Matt Moniak there in that 2 car out of Joliet, Illinois. He's looking to make a move there. These guys he has got to be very, very patient. Michael Gervey, 33 starts, a driver out of Lawson, Missouri. 40 starts, 33 years of age. He's kind of riding in the back, and these guys are definitely going to be patient. It's a long race to go, so we're only 8 laps in. We come back up here in the front there, that 4th position, Tristan Bailey. These guys are just riding around. They got off to a clean start. And this is what a whole season comes down to. 20 plus weeks here in the iSNF Cup Series. And it all comes down to this one race here tonight. The Championship 4. Tristan Bailey looking underneath Angel Hernandez. And that's a positions change for 3rd. And Angel Hernandez is going to let him go right on by. Maddie Fornes, and that's Angel Hernandez for you. He will fall to the back and he'll ride. And then when you suspect it, he will be there at the end. Justin Barkley there in that number 6 car. He's up 1 spot, but he's got Chase Harden right behind him. And that 23 car out of Summerville, South Carolina. Only 17 years old, got 1 win, 1 top 5, and 2 top 10s out of 26 starts here for 2311 Racing. That number 23 car. Jared McCauley out of Morenci, Arizona, 36 years old. What a season he's had. 32 starts. And it looks like Matty Forn has went off the track. Don't know what happened there. We'll circle back to that in just a few minutes. Curtis Kelly out of St. John, New Brunswick. Right now he's running second position to Austin Reedy. Austin Reedy, a late entry. Very, very fast in that number 11 car. Out of Townsend, Delaware. He's got 4 starts under his belt, 1 win, 3 top 5s, 3 top 10s. And you see Jimmy Johnson there. Not the Jimmy Johnson, not the 7-time Cup Series Jimmy Johnson, but 25-year-old out of Orlando, Florida. 25 years old, 3 starts, 0 wins, 0 top 5s, 0 top 10s. Driving that premier number 77 for Jack Yeagerman. 13 laps in of this 150-mile event here from Nashville Superspeedway. Derek Cook there in that number 13 car, or 17 car rather. He's up 3 spots. Driver out of McGraw's, West Virginia. He's got 96 starts to his credit there. 0 wins, 30 top 10s, and 12 DNFs. Rhea Ferris back here in that number 12 car for Penske Racing. 45 years old out of Cleveland, Ohio. 155 Cup starts. She's doing pretty good this year, as these guys are going to stay mean and green here on lap 15. Once again, I want to remind everybody that the stage cautions will fall on laps 45 and 90. That's when the stage cautions will fall. Tristan Bailey, the driver out of Carrier, Mississippi, with 24 starts, 5 wins on the year, 9 top 5s, 11 top 10s. And right now he's running in that 3rd position with Angel Hernandez right in tow. But Austin Reedy, it's been the Austin Reedy show since the drop of the green flag here on lap number 17. Angel Hernandez, driver out of, I ain't going to try to mention the name, but he'll just say it's from Mexico. Age 17 years old, 75 starts, 8 wins on the year, and your point leader. He was a season 5 champion here at the iSNF Cup Series. He's done a great job so far this year, and it looks like he's on track to score another championship for the overall point series. As these guys are getting pretty spread out here in the front of this field, and actually throughout the whole field, they're getting pretty spread out. As right now, iRacing is deeming Christian Delgado the most exciting thing on the racetrack right now. Driver out of Abilene, Kansas. 71 Cup starts, 13 top 5s, and 27 top 10s. He's been there in a lot of these races at the end as we were working lap 20. We're getting to that lap 45 mark. Once we hit lap 45, the tail end of the lap, the 10th car in line will trigger the caution. There is no race control here tonight, so it is definitely going to be automatic cautions, iRacing cautions only. Right now, Charles Roberson defending Christian Delgado, and that's for the top 10 at the top 10 spot. Charles Roberson is defending. But if you look there at Joey Maines, he's got a rear view mirror full of Charles Roberson. That's essentially going to become a battle for that 9th spot. Joey Maines. Ooh, Charles Roberson looking high. Thought better of it. Joey Maines is going to close the door. Charles Roberson is going to try him on the inside. Here comes, whoa, here comes that 16 car Christian Delgado looking for a 2-for-1 special. Driver out of Kego Harbor, Michigan. 23 laps into this one. And it looks like we had a driver bounce off the wall. It looks like it was San Jose Arenas there in a 14 car, which it was. Things are sitting ready to start heating up here. Christian Delgado, Roberson. Arena is going to make a move on Delgado, and that's for 11th. Can he make it? Can he make it stick? And oh, just doesn't have quite enough. Oh, 2x2 down into turn 1. It's a drag race. Oh, Christian Delgado just hangs on by a thread coming out of 2. And then headed down the back straightaway. Arena's going to try it again. He's going to try to get the run. Does he got enough? And oh, he gets him cleared this time. He's going to slide up in front of him. Meanwhile, Roberson is on the inside of Joey Maines. And this is going to be a position for 9th. Or a battle for 9th, I should say. Driver out of Knightsville, South Carolina. With 9 wins on the year. Here comes Charles Roberson. Can't quite clear him. Arenas to the inside. He's gonna try to make a move. Joey Maines on the outside, hung out to dry, and these guys are swapping positions. Like, oh man, here comes Christian Delgado looking to battle back. Don't look now. Here comes Jackson Brower. There in that 99 car. He's going to the inside of Christian Delgado. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stick with this battle to see how it all shakes out. 34-year-old driver out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, making his iSNF debut today. Charles Roberson finally gets around Joey Maines, and so does Arenas. Adrian San Jose Arenas. Oh man, here comes Jackson Brower on the inside. He's got a little help from his friend there in the 17 car, Derek Cook. To the inside. Ooh, Charles Roberson though. He's pulling off some moves. Here lap 28. And these guys are Charles Roberson is definitely on the offensive. Or defensive rather, as Arenas is on the offensive. Whoa. Let's go back to Derek Cook because they are making it 3 wide back here. But don't look now. Here comes Matty Fornes in that number 6 car. He's looking to welcome to say hi. Driver out of New Bern, North Carolina. 20 starts on the year. Matty Fornes looking. Says, maybe not. Here comes Joey Maines. He's looking to battle back underneath Matty Fornes. Can't quite get there. Danny Solo getting into the mix here. Driver out of Sweden, the age 22. He's got 3 wins on the year.
You don't want to forget about Danny Solo subbing for Isaac Wilson this week as well.
And we definitely want to welcome and Jonathan Leach, the Chief Cook and Bottle Wars here at Sim Racing Media. John, how are you doing today, bud?
You know, sorry, sometimes I have to make the most intriguing entrance possible, and so what better way than to start with a fact. But I'm doing all right, man. Nashville, what a great race. 31, lap 31 out of 150 here, you know, to get this series finished up, you know, and there's 5 guys that are favored to win the race. If we're 31 in, Solo being one of those we just talked about. Tristan Bailey, who you're focused on, being the other. But anyway, Alan, doing good. Glad to be here. Sorry, I'm just a little bit behind.
Oh, hey, look. It's so good. We got a 3-wide battle with Jackson Brewer. That's Arenas and Jimmy Johnson subbing for Jack Yeagerman, who would be his home race if he was in the race here at Nashville Superspeedway. Whoa! Jackson Brewer going to take the slide for life.
And in the grass.
Oh, man. Let's take a look.
That was the 77, the Jimmy Johnson machine that went sideways on track.
Let's see how this all shook down. Here they come off of the 4 into the tri-oval, and oh man, Jimmy Johnson just nosed it right on in there. And that's going to bring us, John, underneath our first caution flag of the evening here on lap.
Go ahead and exit the booth then. There must be a coincidence.
So here we are, lap 32, and this is our first caution of the evening. So 32 laps in, and John, you know, I was mentioning that this racetrack is going to be a cheese grater for some of these drivers. I mean, it's like a very wide Dover International Raceways. We're going to have wholesale pit stops.
And not everybody taking pit stops right now, as you see some drivers hanging out. But what's worth noting is you can see it by looking at this track. There's multiple different grooves here, and as far as you calling it a cheese grater, that really occurs because when you're coming into the corner, if you're changing lanes, and you can see the grooves on this racing surface right there. There's a good look at it as we're still coming down the start-finish line. When you change grooves, you upset the car's weight just a little bit, which kind of, I don't want to say rubs, but, you know, in a sense, it causes more friction on the tires, but the downward motion down the track, which wears them out rather quickly. Bonus points tonight. You get 2 points for leading a lap, 2 points for leading the most laps, 2 points for the pole sitter, 5 points for a 0 incident if you complete 92% of the laps.
So, John, I want to show you this real quick. So let's bring up the points real quick, and we talked about the points at the top of the show here. So right now, if you're Angel Hernandez, Justin Barkley, Charles Roberson, or even Tristan Bailey, at your top 4 in points, your championship 4, you cannot afford any mistakes at all. You have to be flawless tonight because every point's going to matter. You want those 2 extra bonus points. You want to be right on with your pit stops. You just want to be right there.
You know, and you can see that with Justin Barkley and Hernandez, 2 and 3. Hernandez, of course, being first, not first, but he's shown here first. They're 5,000. So Hernandez currently would be in the lead here. You got to go a little bit further down to find the other guys of Robertson and Bailey. Bailey's in 13th, and I believe Robertson's a little bit further back, all the way back in 30th right now. He was one of those drivers that hit at number 54 Toyota of his, while these other drivers chose to stay out. Now, strategy is already starting to kind of come into play here. You get 3 extra sets of tires, so 4 total. Fuel is set at 60%, so give or take 45-ish laps or so. There's no fast repairs. And it's, it's hot racetrack. It's very humid out. They're not going to, the cars are making a little less power than usual. So it's just worth mentioning that it's pretty dynamic racing environment for this finale here.
So there's two numbers, John, that I'm always focused on, and that's the humidity and the track temperature. Right now it's 35% humidity and 102 degree track temp. So it's steamy on that racetrack right now.
Yeah, and the track temperature is what's really the issue, because it helps you if you slide the tires, you get them hot. Now you're sliding all over the place. You really start wearing them out pretty quickly. So you got to try to keep your tires cool and stay calm and stay collected. My daughter was trying to drive on the sim the other day, and what she's doing is a lot of slashing the tires back and forth. Wheel real hard left, real hard right, real hard left. And I had to tell her, hey kid, smooth in, smooth out. I had to show her, and that's what these drivers have to do. It has to be smooth movements all race throughout the entire run to save your stuff to be there at the end for this one. And you know what? What better way to do it than here at Nashville? As the field is pretty much bunched up, pace lights are out, and we're getting ready to go back racing. Your front rows, Curtis Kelly and Hernandez. Row 2, Barkley and McCauley. 3, Matty Fornes and Joey Maines. All 6 of those drivers are guys that we're used to seeing up front at most of these races for the iSNF Cup Series. All led by that iRacing Pace Mustang. It needs to be upgraded to like maybe a 2014 instead of like an 08 edition, or even a newer one. But it's going to turn down. We're going to get going after the first caution of the race, and we only got a handful of laps until we make it to the stage, Alan. I expect to see these guys that stayed out, try to hold their position, but those fresh tires come in at around the 12th position with Austin Reedy as we're underway.
Yeah, Austin Reedy, didn't get the jump that he was looking for, but here comes Curtis Kelly and Angel Hernandez. As look, coming off the back straightaway, John, that's probably one of my favorite views in all of racing, as these cars come screaming down the back straightaway right now. Man, Curtis Kelly out to that jump here on lap 37. Here we go.
Kelly would love to play spoiler here to be victorious and deny one of the championship 4 winning here. And honestly, I like the split winner. A championship winner and then a race winner, just like we saw last year on the Cup Series. That really made my day when it was a different driver. And so it ended up being a little bit more than involved in just win the race.
Curtis Kelly is all but checked out. Here comes Justin Barkley on the inside of Angel Hernandez for the second position. Does he have enough? And he's got Jared McCauley on the outside too. Maybe a little help from his friends.
And and if you're one of these championship 2 drivers, how hard do you push right here? The last thing you want to do is get together as they are side.
Whoa, Solo gets out of shape. We got a crash in the back of the field. Man, he's shook.
And lots of cars dropping.
Oh no, Danny Solo, Chase Harden. Oh, you name them and they're in it.
Derek Cook involved.
Looks
St.
like
Posey involved.
Let's see what happened here, as it looks like it started with Danny Solo. Here we are. F2 gets a little loose on that apron. Gets in.
Into the back of what looked like maybe that 14 machine.
Oh, wow. What a hit from that Danny Solo took. It's Chase Harden. He was
on that 14 of Adrian Hose, not 14. Yep, he did. It was the 14 right there. I believe it was Adrian San Jose Harinas that he got into the back of, and that upset that number 24 machine of Solo. And then once he was in front of the field, there's just not really a lot of places to go on this racing surface with how aggressive the banking is.
No, and that's the thing too, John, as I was pointing out there, is so you got an asphalt apron and then you got a concrete racing surface. So just that transition alone, even if you mess up and get a little too low on the racetrack or someone drives you down to the inside, that could really upset the car too and get the car really upset, and these cars will like to be upset.
One provides more grip than the other, I would venture to say.
But nonetheless, Curtis Kelly still your leader, and Angel Hernandez. John, I pointed out at the top of the show that Angel Hernandez is one of those drivers that will essentially fall to the back and kind of ride around, and then he's there at the end. And you're like, where'd he come from?
Well, I mean, Angel Hernandez, 8 wins, 75 starts. I'm not sure. I think it's always a strategy call for him. This league usually doesn't see a ton of cautions that dictates what's going to happen here and there. But you do see him get to the rear of the field, at least a few shows that I've been here, and he's always kind of been able to pick his way through the field. It's worth mentioning Tristan Bailey has started to climb a bit. He's up to 7th after those few laps ran. So first car with fresh tires, looking to maybe take advantage of them. But there's only going to be, I believe, a couple laps left here before we go up to our break. Or not break, until the stage break.
Well, I mean, we can call it a break. I want to give a shout out to Rhea Ferris here in that number 12 car. John, I mean, she's been very helpful this afternoon and helping me out with things on the behind the scenes stuff. And she's one of those league owners that essentially definitely helps us out in a big way.
Yeah, she's one of 2 league owners that I know that actually can race with their series. And that's saying a lot. I'll let the fans figure out what I mean by that.
Well, I mean, just to peel back the curtain just a little bit, John, she goes, I give you a D- or a D+. I said, well, I give you D- for driving.
Well, considering the rating, I think both of y'all would be right around in that area for driving. Your broadcasting, however, I'll give you a solid C now. You're climbing up the ranks.
I get a lot of practice, and practice makes perfect. I mean, you don't just start shooting free throws right off the bat.
I mean, you could.
The only person that could do that is Michael Jordan, Shaq, or Kobe Bryant.
Well, all right, pace lights are out, so we can stop talking about ridiculousness. Kind of funny that Alan Bergen machine is out. That's weird.
I'm having an out of body experience.
More like an out of mind experience. But okay, so the 111 scored 33rd, so he brought the car here. I guess didn't make the race and decided to go to the booth. That works for me also. So anyhow, there's 32 drivers on this racing surface right now, which is impressive. And the stream's pretty good, so it seems like that PC you've got working pretty strong.
Dude, I tell you what, I can't thank everybody behind the scenes enough. And I think the IT manager at my job is wanting me to get a 440 monitor now.
Yeah, the 440 would be good, but it's not really a huge deal for what you're doing. But you would enjoy it on the racing. But iRacing, the frames don't matter quite as much as like a shooter game, I should say. But not to mention that iRacing is not a game. We've heard these guys really get screaming as the Mustang is off, and Curtis Kelly leads them back down to the start very slowly into the restart zone. And there's a big accordion effect right here. Watch the rear of the field. And there's a driver around 3rd row that just didn't get going.
Yeah, and John, to your point with that is so frustrating as a driver. Whenever one line doesn't take off, it just bunches everybody up, and then you're on and off the gas.
What I'm wondering right now, is this a 2-lap shootout to the stage, or did they call the stage last time? Since we didn't have other drivers pit, I'm assuming we got one more lap here, and we're going to go to stage number 1. Tristan Bailey's in 7th with the freshest tires, trying to make a move on the 14. Look at him 3 wide, 2 rows deep, just a little bit further behind him. Caution's out, and I believe that's the stage.
This is a stage winner. Curtis Kelly will pick up that stage win and get those all-important stage points, and so will Angel Hernandez. And, John, it's as good as any. As soon as we find out if Curtis Kelly takes that pit stop, we will go ahead and talk to our stage 1 winner, Curtis Kelly, here in a few moments.
I would expect to see just about everybody pit, perhaps with the exception of a few guys that pitted on lap 33. They might try to stay out here and pit somewhere around lap 70. And I would keep an eye on drivers like Tristan Bailey and Charles, I believe it's Roberson, to see, because those guys, they might those guys might be staying out, which means they would be a good interview while we're waiting for these guys to do their pit stops. And I'd like to hear from the, final four during the race to see what they're expecting and what's really happened out there on the racing surface for them.
Well, you ask and you shall receive, as we are waiting to see what these guys do. And it looks like Tristan Bailey's even going to go in. Oh, wow. It looks like everybody's making wholesale pit stops. Joey Main stays out. Matt Meller stays out. Rhea Ferris stays out. Alexandra Monet stays out. Hopefully stays out. I mean...
Yeah, I was expecting to see a handful of guys stay out. There's Matt Mettler as well staying out.
Matt Mettler, driver out of Buffalo, New York. Formerly out of Buffalo, New York. Now resides in
Buffalo
Florida.
Doesn't have weather problems like Florida has weather problems. Wait, go back to Matt. Go back to Matt. Driver rating. Is that the lowest rating here? No, go to yours. What's your rating, Alan? Go pencil on your name. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm the lowest one.
The only reason I want to drive in this league is I want to see what my rating is. Saturdays are hard to commit to. For me. Not the rest of the field, but for me.
Well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and talk to someone. Maybe we got time. And
well, we were supposed to talk to Charles Roberson or one of the final four, but I started ragging on you and Matt instead. SRM love. Fine.
We got time. Let's talk to Charles Roberson. Charles, this is Alan and John up in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Hey, look, man. Congratulations on the season well done and being in that championship 4. What do you think is going to take to be there at the end and possibly come away with a race win and a championship?
I don't know, man. It seems like, I really don't have the speed right now. The car is kind of pushing, getting into the corner. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can catch them off guard with 20 to go to late caution with some fresh tires or something.
Yeah, and as we get ready to get lined up behind the pace car, are we going to see a massive burnout if you manage to win the race and the championship?
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, Charles. Well, before we're going to go ahead and get you back down to your team. Good luck, and hopefully we'll be talking to you on the other side.
Thank you, man.
And that's JGR's Charles Roberson, that number 54 car. And John, there's something about that Interstate Batteries paint scheme that just takes me back to the Bobby Labonte days. I'm a fan of Interstate Batteries. I'm a fan of Joe Gibbs Racing. Not just because they're a Toyota team, but because of their history.
I'm indifferent. I just like racing. I used to like a team, and now I just like drivers. I follow. It's weird, you don't see this in baseball so much, or football, or maybe somewhat in soccer, where you just follow players. But in racing, you end up becoming a fan of the guy, not so much as the manufacturer. By trade, I'm a Ford guy. I don't really root for Ford drivers, which is kind of weird in any set. But I just tend to follow drivers around, wherever they go for my favorites. So that's just me. If you're kind of like that, let us know.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to thank everybody for helping Sim Racing Media get to 4,000 subscribers this past week. John, what a feat that's been. As Matt Mettler and Joey Mains are going to lead this field down to the 3-4 complex. As we are doubled up behind the iRacing.com pace car, Noah's Ark style, Joey Mains and Matt Miller bringing the field down to green. Barney's got the flag in his hand. Stage 1 complete. Here we go for stage 2. We have liftoff through the Geico restart zone, and we have liftoff here in Nashville, Tennessee. We are back underway. Whoa, we have a massive pileup. Matty Monak into that mess. Let's see what happened with Matt. And it looks like the outside line did not take off. Wow, what happened to Matt Metler to not make him take off? Oh, goodness gracious. Let's go back to the live picture there. Driver out of Joliet, Illinois. And stage 2 will... Let's go... Showing that Robert Lynch Jr. has crashed. Robert Lynch Jr. in a 4-car. Oh, man. That outside line did not take off, and it bunched everybody up.
Now, that probably has a little bit to do with... Well, I was thinking maybe there'd be a little tire spin there, but I just can't say for sure because it looks like a... Well, no, it certainly was tire spin because a handful of the drivers that are pitting are guys that were up front a few moments ago.
Yeah, and if you look down the timing and scoring pylon, Matt Metler dropped like a rock all the way back down to 25th, and he was on the outside, John. And I'd hate to say it, but I don't think he took off like he thought he was going to. After staying out at the stage break. And so, with that being said, that will put us under another caution period for the race. And it looks like these guys are going to stay out. So, that being said, John, we'll have a quick conversation with Mr. Matt Metler and find out what happened. Matt, this is Alan and John up in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
I don't want to have a copy, but I got one.
He heard me say driver rating. I actually don't know what happened. I'm just,
Well, that's what we're trying to find out.
5-year-old walked across my setup and took the USB cable that controls the foot pedals with him, and I had nothing on the restart there.
Yeah, I thought it was a hurricane.
I wish. Yeah. Just feel bad for the guys that got jumbled up behind me there. Couldn't have timed that any worse if I tried. Dropped all the way to the back. I think I got it. I'm trying to. Gotcha. I'm trying to get this last one clicked in as we speak here, but yeah, that sucks. But that's what happened.
All right, John or Matt. Hopefully, you get back up there and race for the win, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right, you guys have a good call up top.
All right,
All right,
thank
Matt,
you.
enjoy your race. See you, pal.
Hey, bud.
I mean, at least he didn't fall asleep. I've done that.
I mean, it sounds like he got Denny Hamlin.
Did I tell you? Yeah, I told you that story, right? Falling asleep in a turn 3 in front of a full field. Wrecked the whole field. All the leaders, everybody. I had a damaged race car. I think I was driving around Atlanta. It was like 40 laps, and I was just out there alone, just by myself. And I'm telling my team, I'm like, guys, I'm tired. And next thing I know, there's just, hell's breaking loose around me, and people are screaming, he did it on purpose. Kick him. What's his problem? Yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, huh? What? Where am I? And I realized I was racing. Man, what a day. Yeah, wrecked the whole field.
Lights
was
are
awful.
Lights are out on the iRacing.com pace car. And, John, I've had that issue, too, before. But I haven't fallen asleep. I've dozed off. And luckily, it was in practice. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, man, it was something else.
Joey Maines and Rhea Ferris, the league owner here at iSNF, will be bringing us back to green flag racing here as they work their way down that back straightaway. And John, what a series that this has been here on Saturday evenings here. And I've gotten to work with quite a few different people over the course of 20 weeks. Starting with Frank Marchese there in the fall and winter months.
You call him Marchese?
I did. Look, I'm really horrible with names and pronunciations sometimes.
Yeah, he'll be back after baseball season. Looking forward to that.
Well, I tell you what, we're looking forward to being back to this green flag racing here as Joey Maines and Rhea Ferris brings the field down to the Geico restart zone. Joey Maines on the loud pedal. We are green flag racing back here in Nashville, Tennessee. Much better start. Yeah, I was going to say, much better start for the field this time as these guys come screaming out of the turn 1-2 complex. Joey Maines gets what a jump he gets. And Joey Maines is putting distance on the field as they come out of 4. Angel Hernandez riding solidly, and these guys are 2 by 2. And you're not seeing double. That's 2 Monster Energy drink cars. One of Angel Hernandez of 2311 Racing. The other one is John Hopley of Rick Ware Racing. John Hopley, 64 years of age, out of South Lancaster, Ontario. 108 Cup starts, 1 top 5 and 11 top 10s. And that's one of those drivers, John, that could play spoiler tonight.
Well, we certainly like spoilers, as I said when I first arrived here. That makes these races interesting. And it's always a guess. You look at when you have a league like this that really pays attention to, the stats, you can make educated guesses.
Whoa!
But you just never really know. As a 77 goes
Jimmy
around, it's the
Johnson.
second time he's involved.
Slide for life. Roberson gets a piece. Oh, man, and more mayhem.
His guy, based on his driver rating here, in his 3 starts, he has had a rough 3 races. That can't be, indicative of his actual skill, based on where he's been running.
Oh.
I see. All he does right there is he taps the brake. It looks like just a touch, and to not get into the car in front of him, and he just goes right around.
I think Roberson just got a piece of it. Not much. Not enough to hurt the car.
I'd like to sort of see that from on board with Jimmy Johnson, if possible.
You ask and you shall receive. Here we are on board. Oh, man. Once that car starts sliding to the right, John, it's just no saving it.
Ah, just bummer.
Oh, man. Back to the live picture here. Once again on lap number 57 of 150. Jimmy Johnson taking the slide for life. Filling in for Jack Yeagerman. That's number 77 car for Spire Motorsports, John. And this, like I said at the top of the show, this would be a hometown race for Jack Yeagerman, who is currently enjoying summer months here in the Mid-South. And it looks like Joey Maines is on the apron. He might be trying to save gas there to not have to make another pit stop for a minute or for a little bit.
He might just be hanging out.
Having some fun.
Michigander, though, Keego Harbor. I wonder if he's in Michigan currently. And what if he's going to Cherry Fest tomorrow? Cherry Fest is an awesome time. The Blue Angels are there. Lots of Michigan cherries. Always great time. Always.
We don't have nothing like that down here in the St. Louis area.
That's because St. Louis in itself is a problem. It's just industrial. It's old. All people from St. Louis. No, okay. I shouldn't say that. When I think of St. Louis, I think of blue collar, hardworking individuals. Assembly line, factory, getting sweaty, hard work. Rough kind of people. But I think of Traverse City, Michigan. Kind of think of, white collar people that want to settle on the lake and kind of get away from stuff. So, of course, they're going to have the little fun things to do.
You're not wrong. I mean, the only thing we got to be careful with in St. Louis is the St. Louis Welcoming Committee. Well, they have Park Smart signs up everywhere in the city. Little factoid about the Nashville Superspeedway. It sits just outside of Nashville here in Lebanon, Tennessee, on the southwest corner or southeast corner of the city. So it's a suburb. It's out of the way, not really in town. But the Tennessee Titans are getting a new NFL stadium built. Nissan Field will have a new home in the next couple of years. And John, I don't know if you've ever been to Nashville, but if you get to go to Nashville, go check out the Nashville Country Music Hall of Fame. That is a sight to see.
I've only ever had the pleasure of driving through Nashville, but some things in my life are changing, so it might be worth a trip. Maybe that's where we'll go next time. It's a Nashville race.
I mean, I'm only 5 hours away.
That would be fun.
A short drive to Nashville. Music City, Broadway Street.
Yep, I'll fly.
Fly into Nashville's great airport.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you can fly into Nashville. Nashville's got an airport.
You just said it's a great airport, so I was asking if it was.
I mean, look, my father travels a lot. He doesn't seem to mind it. So.
Yeah, Nashville is definitely a really great up and coming, area. It attracts the right people, the right kind of beliefs, and Nashville would be a great spot. It's just not close enough to water. I may not be on the Gulf Coast where I want to be, but I'm still right next to a giant freaking lake, which might as well be an ocean.
I've seen Lake Michigan, and I tell you what, Angel Hernandez and Joey Maines are going to see this green flag as the iRacing.com pace car makes that hard left turn. And ever so slowly, they're going to bring this field down to the green flag complex here through the Geico restart zone. Joey Maines up 13 positions. Green flag racing here in Nashville, Tennessee. Joey Maines did not get the jump that he wanted to. We got a little bit of wheel spin.
And when you're focused on the rest of the field there's a whole bunch of different lanes. You can see everybody taking different lanes in order to make things work. And that's okay. You just want to stick in that lane throughout your corner. We're approaching the halfway point, but we're still a little ways off from that at this time. And of course, when we get to that halfway point, we'll have a little bit better idea of what to expect from these drivers. Lap 90 will be the last stage break. So we got 27, 28 laps till we get there. And then we're really going to start to set the field and see what this race is going to look like at the end.
Right now, back here in that sixth position, Matty Fornes battling Adrian San Jose Arenas. And that's going to be a top 5 battle right there. Here comes Curtis Kelly. Ooh, Matty Fornes going to the outside of the 14 car. Does he have enough to make that one stick? Off the corner, 3 wide almost. Wow. 3 wide. Matty Fornes will take that 5th position. And here comes Curtis Kelly for position number 6. Arena is going to drop down to 7th. Austin Reedy, your pole sitter out of Townsend, Delaware, in that number 11 car. He's got Chase Harden and Jason Ricketts battling him, and the 23 car gets a little bit loose. That's Chase Harden. Chase Harden goes underneath the 11 car and that is for the 9th position here. Rhea Ferris doing a good job holding her own there in that top 10. Being patient. Here comes Austin Reedy And that's going to be a position. That's going to be ninth position that Rhea gives up. The 43 car is Shane Posey all over the back of Rhea Ferris. Here comes Jason Ricketts. Rhea Ferris is losing wholesale positions. We're going to definitely stick with this one. Ooh, she gets a little bit loose coming up the quarter and through the tri-oval. Rhea Ferris is looking for a spot to get back in line so she can regather herself on up there. Rhea Ferris all the way back to 15th. And here comes Alexander Monet. He's going to pass her for 15th. She's going to hold off. She's definitely playing defense. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, here comes Chase Harden. Oh, boy. 15 cars all the way back there. It's John Hopley. That's 8th position. These guys are going to get in line. 2 by 2. Jimmy Johnson had to slide for life a little bit ago. He's battled his way back up to the top 10 under San Jose Arenas. And this is a battle for 10th right now. A lot of great battles going on. Jason Ricketts from Dawsonville, Georgia. Lamano, he's going to go under Arenas, and that's going to be the 11th position. Let's see here. Shane Posey underneath the 15 car of John Hopley, and that's going to be a position change for 9th. For 8th, rather. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. He's looking to get in the mix. He's going to go under Hopley.
You know, for a guy that's had multiple spins, you know, he's still hanging out in the top 10. And that has to go with going right back to what I said.
Oh.
You know, that rating is not really showing what this guy's made of. He's just obviously had a couple races since getting here that just didn't quite go his way.
Yeah, and, you know, to your point, also, John is, you know, like, he's had a couple of spins, but he hasn't really hit anything too hard to where he has a whole lot of damage.
And, you know, and just right in front of him, John Hopley had a huge wiggle out of the corner. See if he's got one here. Nope, much better exit. It's going to open the door for Johnson and down the low side right here, but I do think Hopley's got the preferred lane as he comes through the corner. Let's keep an eye on him, see if anybody's going to wiggle. Hopley's going to hang on to the position. Johnson not really able to drive up the track because the one machine is right there. That's Fabrico Lamana. It kind of blocked his run out of the corner.
You know, it's kind of crazy that they call this a super speedway, but it drives like 1.5 miles.
Yeah, it certainly seems like a cookie cutter track, honestly, when you're looking at it. I've never personally driven the track, I don't believe, but you look at this and I would say, you know, Charlotte, Chicagoland, but it's still unique in its own right.
Well, here comes Jimmy Johnson making a move on Lamana, coming out of that turn 4 complex, and John Hopley's there, almost going to kill the run as he goes down the block on the inside.
Yeah, so these guys are going to go back and forth as Hopley's trying to step away somewhat slowly from these guys. He got some slightly different strategies going on. The top 5
Whoa!
lap 46.
Oh,
there goes
no! Lamana goes off track, and he keeps it going. And he's on the apron. Let's take a look at what happened there. Oh, man.
He certainly had some help there. There's no way that wheel just did that on that straightaway.
Yeah.
This is another driver where that driver rating, in my opinion, based on, you know, what we're seeing tonight, probably doesn't really represent their overall ability.
Well, working lap 75, John, Angel Hernandez is doing Angel Hernandez things here out front. And it looks like they got a lap car in front of them. And you would think that lap cars would not become a factor until later in the race. But, I mean, so once they approach this lap car, Justin Barkley could use that lap car as a pick to get around Angel Hernandez. And it looks like that's the 54 car of Charles Robertson there. And that's
that's another one of the contenders, which is unfortunate for the 54.
Yeah, I was going to say that's going to have championship implications, but they are an affiliated teammate. 2311 does have an affiliation with Joe Gibbs Racing, so he might take a little longer to put him a lap down. But
not when you're racing Justin Barkley, you're not. So those two guys are racing. They're going to go right by him. Hernandez is on the top side. Here comes Barkley. These guys are going to be with each other the entire race. So this right here could be a key pass. I wouldn't really expect it to be, but that's going to be some key contact that you don't want to have between those two.
Yeah, like we said at the top of the show, every point's going to matter here tonight. And, Justin Barkley is not letting Angel Hernandez get it out to a run or even open up that lead. He's matching him step for step, which is smart. And Justin Barkley and Angel Hernandez both have great on-track awareness of where they're at. As you're seeing Joey Mays there in that number 9 car, that Napa Know-How number 9. He's going to look underneath Justin Barkley, and that's going to be position change for P2 on the inside, coming out of the turn 4 complex. Oh, man, just not enough. Working lap 80, 10 or 11 laps to go until the stage break. So we have a pass here. That's going to be Chase Harden going to the outside of Shane Posey, and that's a battle for 8th position right there. Or 7th, rather. And these two guys are not letting each other get out of each other, not getting out of each other's crosshairs either. And John, Shane Lake could be here tonight, but hey, we let him fly the drone.
All right, so we're not too far off now from that final stage. So there's going to be some moving around, and something that's really interesting, only one driver is in the same position that they started in.
And
well, I take that back. My scoring is from when I got in here. But Matty Fornes is who I'm showing. It's running 6th currently. It's a Ford Mustang driver. Last lap time, 30.90. Just a touch slower than the leader, but faster than the average on the track. 20 starts, no wins, 3 top 10s. But, I feel like we talk about this guy a lot more often in the race, and he just must not be having the finishes that he really deserves here, as shown by that rating and only being 3 top 10s.
Driver out of New Bern, North Carolina. He's got 26 starts and a little bit older than me at the age of 46, and it's cool to see some of the elders come on here and race with us younger kids on here. And I do call us kids because I think we're all in touch with our inner child.
I just don't know what to think of the fact that you said 46, 44 is like elderly. Can't be elderly.
I said elder. Look, if you're older than me, then you're an elder in my book.
I guess I'm only like a 10-year adult, that's all.
There you go.
I haven't figured it out yet.
Matt Metler, they're riding in that 17th position, up 12 spots out of, I want to say he's out of Orlando, Florida, but his hometown is in Buffalo,
he's down
New
in the
York.
Miami general area. He's a little bit east of, he lives currently a little west of Miami, but he is out of the New York area. But he's a Florida guy. That's why he's always having a hurricane. But, he's fought back to 17th, which is rather impressive. considering what he was a part of earlier. We're going to keep an eye on him. He might have top 10 speed. His best lap is a 30:54, which really, looking at everybody else in the field, that's good for 11th. And his current lap times are not much slower than the leader. He's running some good lap times.
He is, as long as this 5-year-old doesn't Metler him.
Metler him? My goodness. Now, it's also worth mentioning that he's got some fresher tires because of what happened, but he needs to take advantage of those fresher tires, try to pick up a couple more positions, which, he's got Smith and Tristan Bailey right there in front of him, Tristan Bailey being a contender, and then he's going to have a ways to go before getting to the number 3, Alexandra Monette. I believe that's correct for me right there. But we're going to be at the stage in 3 laps.
That's where I'm going with, and pit road will close at 2 laps to go here in the stage. Right now, Angel Hernandez doing Angel Hernandez things, and Justin Barkley is right there with them. They're going to trade. Look, they're trading the lead like they're trading jabs right now. But who's going to have the other guy on the ropes before this one's all said and done, Sean? As we look here, Christian Delgado, iRacing deems this as the most exciting thing on the racetrack right now. Whoa, Jimmy Johnson gets a little high there coming out of 4, or out of turn 2. But here comes Adrian San Jose Arenas and Jackson Brower out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. And he's, I think he's a sub 2 here this weekend. 15 car, you got Justin Hopefully there. He's on the defense right now from that 99 car and from the 3 car. Draw lap 89 of 150 here of the scheduled distance. 3 car of Alexandra Monet on the inside of Hopefully, hoping to make it stick. Driver out of South Lancaster, Ontario. Getting passed by Alexander Monet of Rodin, Quebec, Canada. And that is the stage. Justin Barkley will take the stage 2 win. And I imagine these guys are going to definitely have wholesale pit stops. So with that being said, while these guys take their pit stops, we're going to take a pit stop and go side by side, and you won't miss a thing on Sim Racing Media. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Music City 200. I'm Alan Bergen alongside the Chief Cook and Battle Watcher here at Sim Racing Media, Jonathan Leach. We are under caution for the stage break here at lap 92. 90 was the stage break. And Justin Barkley wins stage number 2. So we get ready for the final stage. And the final third of this race here. And John, it's been an entertaining race so far. Not a whole lot of cautions here at Nashville Superspeedway.
Not on a cookie cutter racetrack, Alan. When it's cookie cutter, it's just as long as you have a good group of guys and girls in this situation, or drivers, maybe that's more politically correct. Good group of drivers, you can do all right. Everybody gives each other space and respect. I haven't seen anything that I would call egregious or anything outside of the unexpected, other than the fact that now Matt Miller's in the top 10.
I wouldn't call that egregious, but as long as a child doesn't unplug a wheel or anything, as we get lined up 2 by 2, Noah's Ark style behind that iRacing.com pace car, and get ready for the start of stage number 3. John, we're at lap 92 or 93. We're going to come back to green at lap 94. What are you expecting to happen here out of this last 60 or so laps?
Well, I'm expecting to see Hernandez and Barkley trade back and forth. Then somebody like Austin Reedy, Fornez, or maybe Chase Harden's going to end up winning the race. Unfortunately for Charles Roberson and Tristan Bailey, I just don't think those two guys have the speed for this race today. So it's going to be Hernandez and Barkley.
Well, as you said that, and Angel Hernandez, over the course of 20 weeks, I've become a huge Angel Hernandez fan and Justin Barkley fan. As Barney's got my favorite color flag out in his hand, and Angel Hernandez, Justin Barkley going to bring the field down to the Geico restart zone, and we are green flag racing once again for the start of stage number 3 here at the Nashville Superspeedway.
Hernandez playing a little bit of restart games right there, and it worked. It caught Reedy and Barkley off throttle, so they didn't pass him, and he was able to kind of jump out to a 2/10-second gap. Austin Reedy, however, taking advantage of the stumble by Barkley, who tried to remain outside the wall. Reedy looking to the inside of Hernandez. This isn't even one lap back on 95, trying to take the lead away.
Lap 95, and it looked like Austin Reedy had just a little bit of connection issue. But here he goes, making the move on the inside of Angel Hernandez into turn number 1. Can he make it stick? John hopefully is registered as crashed, but we're going to stay green as we are going to stick with this battle just a little bit longer. Angel Hernandez on defense and Austin Reedy on offense.
Now, this could be a race-winning pass right here for Austin Reedy, because Hernandez and Barkley are going to take up a lot of each other's time as soon as they start racing. Can't forget about Joey Maines, who's led plenty of laps in this one already.
Yeah, Joey Maines, to your point, he's run a textbook race so far. But here comes Jared McCauley in that number 10 car as he's wanting to get in the mix and get in that top 4 on the racetrack right now. There you see Matty Fornez there in that number 6 car. And he's running P6 currently. He started 5th. He's only down 1 spot. Jason Ricketts there in that number 48 car. He started 19th. And he's up 1 spot. Jimmy Johnson is driving for Jack Yeagerman as we are working lap 100 here. Or working lap 99, I should say. Wow, my math isn't mathing. And as John alluded to earlier, Matt Mettler there in that number 34 car, having probably one of the best runs he's had all season long, solidly in that top 10. But here comes Jimmy Johnson looking to make a move. Here comes Matt Mettler making a move under Arenas, and that's going to be for ninth position. Working lap 140, 49 or 51 to go here. Here comes, whoa, Matt Mettler gets a little bit loose. Here comes Jimmy Johnson trying to make a move. We got some good racing going back here. Jackson Brewer and Steven Sear in that 5 car. And this is a battle for the 12th position right now. That's the Bruin here. Got Curtis Kelly on the inside of, that would be Christian Delgado. Delgado currently being scored in that 27th position. A number of laps down. Curtis Kelly going to make the move in front of Delgado. Oh, here comes Curtis Kelly on Stevens here on the outside. He's looking to make it 3 wide. Thinks a little bit better of it. Arenas backing up to Brewer there. And this is a 4-car battle right now with Arenas, Curtis Kelly, Steven Sear, Jackson Brewer in that number 99 car of La Crosse, Wisconsin. Oh boy, here we go. Christian Delgado looking to pass Arenas. Christian Delgado, I want to remind everybody, is numerous laps down. He's at least 3 laps down. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, nothing really changing up here as Austin Reedy is doing Austin Reedy things. And by that, he's leading this field.
And so it's time to start thinking about your pit strategy here, Alan. I was doing some thinking the last few laps right here, and you really have to start planning this out. So we've noticed that they go roughly 35 laps or so. All these guys pitted on lap 91. We're at 104, so we ran about 16 laps. I think the math checks. If it doesn't, it's all right. So they can go maybe another 16. Let's call it 16 to 25 laps. Let's say I'm wrong, plus or minus 10. You still have to decide, do you want to pit closer to the end of the run, or do you want to pit earlier in the run? Of course, you got to pit when there's enough time to make it to the end. But I'm not expecting another caution out of these guys as this race starts to get spread out more and more.
Yeah, to your point, John, so let me ask you this. Put the driver hat on. Do you short pit this stage and hope there's another caution on the back end, or do you, like you said, get closer to the end of the race and then pit?
Well, I want to make it to the end, but then I want to pit. The second I know I can make it to the end, I'm pitting. And the reason for that is, well, I guess that changes. Am I a driver that can win the race? I'll drag it out. Am I a driver that's trying to score top 10? Someone that's in the 20th range, 15th to 20th? I'm going to pit as soon as I can make it to the end. I'm going to take advantage of my fresher tires, hope that I don't get a yellow early, and hope that I get a yellow, halfway through the run, or maybe towards the end of that run, and then I'm able to go change my tires if I was smart and saved a set. I always save a set just in case for this. But if it goes green, you've already made up that ground, and you might give up some of it on the long run. But more times than not, when you short pit and you got 30 laps to go, that driver ends up being successful.
I mean, I would pit. I would try to split the stage, maybe. What's halfway in the stage? Well, we're at the 50 lap mark, so I would probably say lap 120 or 130. Come on in, make that 20 lap run to the end. So I mean, there's a few different strategies that could play out. So right now, live timing and scoring deems that Matt Mettler is the most exciting thing on the racetrack. And he's got Jackson Brewer right behind him. And it looks like Jackson Brewer is going to make a move. And Matt Mettler is going to block him here in turn 3, coming out of turn 4. Here comes Brower once again. He's going to put the move on to Matt Metler and get that spot pretty handedly. Christian Delgado, multiple laps down here as we're working lap 110 of 150. Matty Fornes getting passed for the top 5 by Jared McCauley there in that number 10 car for Stuart Haas Racing. Oh my. And, you know, John, as we work our way through stage 3, the battles are going to start intensifying. You know, if you're in the top 4 in points, you really got a lot to race for. But if you're outside the top 4 and you're playing spoiler, it's records or checkers, man.
You know, that's what it is. If you can't win the championship, then you're there to win the race. That's the way I see it. That's the way Reedy sees it, Maines and Fornes sees it. You know, and others. Jimmy Johnson still hanging out in 10th after all those spins. Finally looking like he's going to get a good finish. You know, and a handful of cars that are lapped down in this one. But yeah, you got to win. When you come here, the best revenge for not making it is just win the race. You know, just win. And, you know, Denny Hamlin said it best. He'd rather have 65 wins than 10 wins in a championship or 20 wins in a championship. There's a lot of drivers like that, you know. So go out there and win the race. That's what we're here for. Championships are great, but winning races gives you that exhilaration moment.
You know, and to your point, I got the chance to sub a few of these cars over the course of 20 weeks here. And there's, like, I mean, you could sub one of these cars, John, and go out there and just drive it like you stole it, because you're not racing for points. However, the car's racing for owner points, but you're not racing for points. So how do you approach it how do you approach a race when you're a sub in this league?
Win. Just win.
I mean,
don't tear the car up, but just, you know, go win.
Unfortunately, I did that at Daytona. I was subbing for the 13 car of Jackson car, and I did not have the successful night that I was hoping for.
Well, something that you're pretty solid at is you and Matt Metler, both uniquely. You guys are both pretty solid super speedway racers. And, you know, and there's a lot of... Everybody can have success on super speedways, but you guys seem to have either the luck on your side or just a little bit more of a niche for you guys. And you guys tend to be more towards the front for super speedway racing. And perhaps it's because you don't let it get into your head. A lot of drivers, you know, that are competitive all year round are like, oh man, I can't get wrecked out. I gotta have at least a good finish. I don't have to try to go for the win. But drivers, you know, if you're not going to be at it at the end, you show up to the super speedway with, whatever, win or crash. And so you tend to stay up towards the front, and it works out for you. The front's the place to be.
Yeah, I mean, to your point too, and I mean, super speedway racing is an art form. Just like road racing, and, you know, that's what I like about this series is they have followed the NASCAR Cup Series schedule ever since Daytona. They shied away from it, just you know, a week or two here and there. But I mean, to your point, you know, to our point here, you know, super speedway racing is definitely an art form. It's definitely a talent, and you definitely gotta have track awareness. That will play mind games with you so mentally, and. You know, John, it's well known in the SRM fold that I'm a dirt racer at heart. You know, you've seen me in the dirt super late models and in the dirt pro late models, and that's definitely an art form too. You got to have track awareness.
Well, and, you know, in super speedway racing, you're close quarters, and if you take advantage of that, you can really do well. The side draft at super speedways and the next gen car is just incredible. However, you got to be next to somebody that can handle that. But I mean, if you're on the outside alone with one row of cars, if you're within about a foot of that car on the inside, you're in their wake. You're in the draft with them, and you can sit there and hang with them. And sometimes you can make that pass, but you got to be within that foot mark. But it also, when you do that, you have to know that the car below you on the super speedways, it makes them incredibly loose, and they're cornering. They start to have a little bit of trouble, but at the same time, they wiggle, you can make that pass. But we're not at the super speedway. You know, we're a cookie cutter racetrack right here, and we're trying to claim a championship and a winner. I like 2 burnouts. Said it already. As we're watching Chase Harden and Fornez go at it.
Yeah, Chase Harden and Matty Fornez there.
Or McCauley.
Chase McCauley there on the inside, and Chase Harden, gets really close to the wall. Yikes. Yay. Don't want to get too close to the wall. Driver out of Somerville, South Carolina with 26 starts. 1 win to his credit. Here lap 121. We're nearing the halfway point of the last stage here in the final 39 laps of the season here for the iSNF Cup Series.
All right, so I want to take a mention. We've had some drivers pit as soon as they can make it to the end. Tomlinson, Alexander Manette, and Matt Metler. I'm kind of curious to see if my plan here works. Maybe I should have a new job as a crew chief. I think this is a good move because right now he's running 30 Metler 3092. He's running a good bit faster than those cars around him, and he's going to be up to speed. So let's keep an eye on the 34, the number 7, and the number 3. I'm curious to see where these guys finish this race if it goes green until the end.
Well, you say that Casey Tomlinson comes back on track to Colonial Heights, Virginia native. He had a moment there, and let's see if we can see what happened to him.
Jimmy Johnson's just pitted.
Oh, Casey Tomlinson takes a slide for live, but he doesn't hit nothing, and we stay green.
Yeah, that's going to cost him, the short pit. It's gone now. All that time ran, but you're still on the track. You get a caution, you might pick up some more spots. So now you're just in recovery mode here. But curious to watch Metler, Jimmy Johnson, who was 10th. He's short pit. Everybody else up there, I think that's going to work out for him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets away with the top 7, top 8 of this one. Chase Harden down pit road.
Yeah, Chase Harden had the weeble wobbles as we were talking about super speedway racing and dirt racing. And he's going to come down pit road, and seems like getting on the pit road, not really a huge issue tonight. It's staying on that concrete and not touching that apron. As we were watching Matt Metler right there, all by himself, and he's going to touch the wall. Here's Jared McCauley. That's a battle as he closes in here on Curtis Kelly there in that 42 car. Curtis Kelly down 3 spots when we started. He started in the 3rd position, and he's all the way back down to the 6th position as Jared McCauley steadily works on Curtis Kelly. We got 25 laps left here in the race and in the season.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see when the leaders start to come down pit road. Let's go on up to them. Austin, Reedy, Hernandez and Barkley, they're still right with each other. We might be deciding this championship on the last lap. Look at this right here. What would you do for the championship? Would you wreck the guy in front of you? I mean, is that even okay? Is that fair? Yes, no, maybe so, because the other guy might and you won't. And that's an issue as McCauley's coming down pit road.
I would wreck my grandma to win the championship.
Well, and you got to know if your opponent has that mentality.
John, I would take you out to win a championship, buddy. No offense.
That's fine. We'll fight after you celebrate.
As I'm pretty sure John Leach is signing my pink slip right now. You want to take me out for a championship? Send you to the unemployment line. Matty Forness back here, driver out of New Bend, North Carolina. They're in that number 6 car. I mean, these guys, 20 starts. He's got 3 top 10s, and he's working on his first top 5 right now with 23 laps to go. I mean, one of the impressive runs, kept it clean for all race.
I can expect these leaders here any minute now. Mettler's currently 20th. There's still 12 drivers to pit, 13 drivers to pit.
I mean, if you're Austin Reedy, Angel Hernandez, or even Justin Barkley, do you take tires, or do you play the strategy and just come down for a splash and go, knowing that the laps are running down, or running out rather?
You know, that's tough, man, because you get a caution, you're done. It's game over. I think you have to take them. I think you have to take them.
Right.
Now,
I'm sorry. I was going to say, right now, Justin Barkley is right there, back there in third position. And for him to...
Here he comes.
Ooh.
And Charles Roberson's running in 7th. I don't know when that happened. He should take Splash. Splash for the 54, and he should risk it. Or Tristan Bailey.
So this is the all-important stop right here. You got to be perfect getting into your pit stall here. Austin Reedy. Does anybody have anything for Austin Reedy? Or does he try to stay in here with 20 laps to go? And here he comes down to the trial. His driver rating, look, your driver rating is 100. You're batting 1,000 right now.
It sure is. So Hernandez and Barkley, let's keep an eye on them. Hernandez, rights only. Barkley, 4 tires. This could be big. You know, 19 laps. That's enough time for those tires to wear out on that Hernandez machine. But this could be a huge thing right here. I really do think you needed the tires, but Hernandez is going to be a hot bit in front of Barkley after that pit stop. Almost 6 seconds.
Get ready, John, because Angel Hernandez is going to drive the wheels off of that race car.
He doesn't really have a choice because Barkley's going to be coming in a hurry. That's also worth mentioning, you know, Bailey, Roberson. I would like to see one of them splash and go. 3 seconds of fuel and go. And just see what happens.
You said that 18 laps to go, and I think Austin Reedy would have to come down pit road within the next couple of laps.
And Austin Reedy's got a pretty large gap. You know, right here, he could get away with that, but he's going to come down, take 4 tires, you know, and then go finish this race.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to your point too, but if you're Tristan Bailey, these sands of the hourglass are going to start running out here pretty quickly, as Tristan Bailey is right now running P2. Charles Roberson up in the top 3.
Someone's in the wall. What just happened? Oh, no caution, but wow. Whew.
I don't see anybody
right there.
I don't see anybody registering here at Scratch on live timing and scoring. Definitely keep an eye on it. Curtis Kelly, back in 9th, just ran the fastest lap of the race with 30 flat.
That's fast.
I mean, that would be almost enough to put him on the pole.
Yeah, that's quite fast.
Angel Hernandez, back up to 7th.
You know, so that's probably for second right there with the gap that Austin Reedy still has. But they're quick, you know, and Barkley's got about 5 seconds to him. Or no, 6 seconds to him. He's going to really have to pick that up in a hurry. He's going to need a caution to get there.
And
but
there's your
surprised
caution.
what Hernandez did with it.
It looks like Tristan Bailey has registered his crash, so we'll see what happened to him.
Austin Reedy down pit road.
And no!
Tap from the 3. Oh no! Yes, that's gonna end that championship. So Reedy's down pit road. Tough break for Bailey. Just seeing splash and go. No, he's still getting more fuel. Must be doing tires for Tristan Bailey.
Yeah, Austin Reedy slides into the pit stop. Or pit stall, rather.
Charles Roberson caught for speeding with the 58-second pit stop.
Ooh, Austin Reedy down in the way.
Show to lose.
Well, there, as you say, is would be the race for the championship right there.
And so, I mean, you know, it's a decision that you have to make.
Oh, we have a caution.
You know, that changes everything. All right, so this is what I wanted. This is what you wanted to see if you're Justin Barkley. This is not what you want to see if you're Angel Hernandez. Now those tires are going to play a role here. You know, they're going to get the caution. You're going to get set up. He's going to be right there with you. You look like a genius without the caution. Now this is falling into Justin Barkley's seat. He'll be a couple rows back. But, this is what he needed to see. And, also Charles Roberson's still out front. And I'm sorry, that pit stop from last time, that was around 92, lap 92. So Robertson did not pit yet. He is going to have to pit. Him and Chris Van Maastricht. They're going to have to pit. And what I wonder is if there's anybody else to pit as well.
Well, while we ponder those questions, let's see what happened to Jimmy Johnson to bring out the yellow. And, Jared McCauley gets into him and upsets the race car. And Jimmy Johnson goes for the spin cycle.
Yeah, this is what just keeps causing that driver rating. He's running 10th, but something happens. So now he's 16th. Fought through a lot of adversity. We'd love to see him somehow manage the top 10. Hernandez up front, Kelly, Hardin, Maines, Barkley. Barkley will be 5th, so, he's only 2 rows back.
Okay, John, let's put on the driver hat one more time. If you're Angel Hernandez, do you take the outside row on the restart or the inside?
Inside.
I think I'm with you on that. I think I would take the inside.
Yeah, I think at this track, that second car, from what we've seen, isn't going to be able to stay side by side with you all the way to turn 1. If he does, you're in trouble. But that being said, I think the inside will give you a little bit better of a jump. It's less corner into turn 1 that you have to travel less distance. Now, it would be a different thing if the outside lane could stay right with you. Then I would want the outside lane because I'd want to hold down the guy that's in second. But in this case, I'd take the inside.
Right now, as it stands, I want to do something real quick. Let's remind the viewers at home of what we're looking at points-wise here. So right now, Angel Hernandez is your leader right now. So if the race were to end right now, he would be your champion. Justin Barkley is riding in 5th position. He is 2nd in points right now. And then you go to the 3rd in points, which is Charles Roberson. He has battled his way back to 11th. Tristan Bailey had that issue getting on the pit road, and that's the first issue I've seen all afternoon with these guys getting on pit road. So that's where your championship 4 stands right now compared to where they're at on the racetrack.
Also want to mention Matt Mettler just went down pit road. I'm not really sure what caused the pit, but he did end up in 14th. So it was a net gain pitting early.
No, but, you had to take a shot at a little bit of strategy and see how it plays out. So right now, after the wave around cars go ahead and get their wave around, Angel Hernandez will line up on the inside of Curtis Kelly. Curtis Kelly driving for Legacy Motorsports. Angel Hernandez driving for 2311 Racing. Oh boy. John, and I tell you what, this one here, with about 11 to go, is going to get real good. Want to thank everybody for tuning in here on the Sim Racing Media Network. I'm Alan Bergen in the Tony Trapasso Memorial booth. And my friend to the north, Jonathan Leach. And you're watching iSNF Cup Series as we are 2x2 Noah's Ark style, getting ready to finish out the Season 7 of the iSNF Cup Series. And you guys are in store for a treat these last 10 laps here in Season 7. And John wants dueling burnouts, and I want Angel Hernandez to win the championship. As Barney puts that yellow flag away, he's got the green flag out. Hernandez, Kelly on the front row, coming out of turn 4, end of the tri-oval, to the Geico restart zone. Angel Hernandez back on the lap pedal. We got 10 laps to go in Season 7. Who will the championship go to?
All right, so let's keep an eye on Justin Barkley there in 5th. So makes big moves already happening back there as Hernandez kind of gets away pretty quickly. Barkley up to 3rd. He's going to have to move quick with only 9 to go. Let's focus back there. So Barkley just behind Curtis Kelly. So he's got to get by Curtis Kelly quickly. It is going to come down to, one of these guys winning the race, it looks like. Barkley's going to have to get by this 42 in the next couple laps.
Roberson with a big block. Here comes Justin Barkley, though. He's got to go, and he's got to go now. The sands of the hourglass are running out quickly for Justin Barkley in any shot to win this championship.
Yeah, as I was saying about a lap before, he's got to go now. So let's go a little further back there. You got some 3 machines racing. It's around 6th, I believe it was. Here you go, right there. Matty Fornes, McCauley, and Harden all back and forth with each other right here. This is around for the 4th, 5th place position.
Oh, we got a yellow.
This is exactly what the doctor ordered for Justin Barkley, not what Hernandez wanted to see. This is going to get really interesting for those guys, but let's see what brought out the yellow.
And here we go. Jimmy Johnson going for another spin cycle. And
that's
that
why he doesn't have the finishes.
That one's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate because we've seen that he can run in 10th, but when you spin 4 times in a race, eventually they're going to get you. And, 3 of them weren't on him.
As we come back to the live picture, John, half a dozen laps to go here in Season 7. And like you alluded to earlier, right when we went under caution, this is great news for Justin Barkley and possibly bad news for Angel Hernandez.
Yeah, so Barkley got to 3rd. Curtis Kelly's got to 2nd. So Kelly and Hernandez are both on 2 tires. Barkley's on 4, so he's going to have a little bit more grip in the corners. And, and he's going to be restarting, I would imagine, on the inside. And so if he does well, he can get by Curtis Kelly in a lap, and that's what it's going to take. Or it's going to take Kelly and Hernandez getting into each other, and Barkley's going to go by. But I wouldn't count the top 4 out of this race, or the top are 3rd and 4th. I think they're definitely going to be players in this restart.
If I'm Justin Barkley, John, I am glued, and I mean glued to the back end of that 45 car. And I'm going to shove that 45 car.
You push him around.
As it looks like these guys are driving on the apron, I guess to save a little bit of gas. And I think we will end up with 4, maybe 3 laps to go here when we come back to green.
Yeah, it won't be quite a green-white checker. We might even see a green-white checker after this one. But then I'm not really sure what's up with doing that. But I'm just ready to see what happens. we race, we talk, we race, we talk, we do all this just to get to this one, point.
just to get to this one point in time, as there are now 5 laps to go left here in Season 7 of the iSNF Cup Series from Nashville. You're watching the Music City 200 from Nashville. I'm Alan Bergen. He's Jonathan Leach, and we are getting ready to go back to green here in a moment's in time. And this is going to get real good. And when I had the opportunity to slide in into the booth tonight, and I said, you know what, it's championship night. Let's do this. It is game on.
Hey, I'm excited to see what's about to happen. Chaos.
Chaos. You are. Look, it's almost going to be like jet planes in a gymnasium.
We're going to go that far. Only thing that NASCAR drivers would trade their job for. Fighter pilot.
That would be fun.
The problem with fighter pilots, and I've always wanted to be one, is they flight plan for like 7 hours to go fly for an hour. That's a lot. That's pretty intense. That's pretty intense.
I mean, your 9 to 5 is way more intense than my 9 to 5 job.
It depends. Are we busy or are we not busy? If we're busy, it's pretty intense. If there's no airplanes, no one cares. But these guys are about to be pretty intense, pretty stressful. So they're going to feel like what I can feel like as an air traffic controller, especially when you're Hernandez and Barkley. You're going to be, white-knuckled, like, oh, don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake. One of them's going to miss a corner and all hell's going to break loose.
Well, Justin Barkley is hoping that Angel Hernandez makes a mistake, and Angel Hernandez is going to choose the outside line this time, which is really he's been on the inside
that's
line.
Opening the door for Joey Maines on the bottom. I don't like that move at all. Especially, I would want to be in front of Joey Maines personally, and I don't want to forget about Charles Robertson. He's 8th. If those two get together, he's not out of this one.
As we get ready to go back to the ring, we come down the back straightaway here in Nashville. 3 laps to go here in the Music City 200. And right now you got Angel Hernandez, Curtis Kelly. Now, 2 Toyota teams. They're not teammates, but could they protect each other and prevent Barkley from getting by either one of those drivers?
Now, maybe going to the outside puts Curtis Kelly in between Maines, or puts Curtis Kelly in between them. But here we go, back to racing right now. The pace car's off. It all comes down to this. Who's it going to be? Hernandez or Barkley or Curtis Kelly or Joey Maines for the race? But all eyes are on the championship as there's a really great restart for Hernandez, making the outside lane work. But watch that Justin Barkley machine. As we're coming into the corner, Curtis Kelly shuts the door. He's going to have to go here in a hurry. It might be too little too late. They're wrecking behind him. He'll have another shot at it.
Matt Mettler shows going off the track. Arenas shows coming back on the racetrack.
All right, so we're going to wait about another 5 minutes. Barkley's going to have another stab at it, and Hernandez has to get it all right once again.
Let's see what happened here to Matt Mettler there. As I'm showing one off the racetrack, and oh man,
avoiding, moving up in the world, move him up to 12. What did I say? That short pit. Certainly, that's why he's in 12th now. Has everything to do with it.
Oh, it looks like Shane Posey gets a little bit loose, and everyone else had nowhere to go. Driver out of Fitzgerald, Georgia. Oh, yikes. Not the way you want to end your season on the wrecker. We come back to the live picture here. Angel Hernandez, like you said, gets to hit the restart button. And now we are NASCAR overtime.
Well, this isn't NASCAR, so don't say that.
Well, iSNF overtime. Overtime. 3 laps to go here. What we're going to do is we're going to send them around the racetrack once the green flag comes out. If we make it back to the white flag, whatever happens after that, well, that's the race. However, if we wreck before we get back to the white flag, well, we're going to re-wreck it and restack it and try it again. As these guys are going to go lined up. I imagine this would be a pretty quick caution period. As these guys are getting lined up, and talking with Rhea Ferris earlier, she does watch these back. They want to turn our broadcast into a drinking game, especially when I'm on the mic. So I would be very curious to see what that would look like. Right now, we are 3 laps to go, and Justin Barkley is going to have to do everything he can to get around Curtis Kelly in a hurry if he wants any shot of winning this championship, which could be a very possible thing. 20 weeks ago, we started in Daytona, and we end here in the Music City 200 in Nashville, Tennessee. And I knew at the beginning of the season that Angel Hernandez was going to be a force to be reckoned with. Joey Main's up 10 spots running in that P4 position there. That 9 car, he's going to drive it down on the apron to save just a little bit more gas. Austin Reedy, your pole sitter here tonight. 27 years of age, out of Townsend, Delaware. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, hope everybody in the YouTube.com live chat is having a great time here as we close out the iSNF Cup Series. Season 7 coming to a close here in about 2 laps. We are doubled up 2 by 2. Noah's Ark style behind the pace car. Angel Hernandez choosing the outside line once again. Justin Barkley on the inside line. And Justin Barkley's got to have the restart of a lifetime right now. The iRacing.com pace car brings the field down the back straightaway, which Angel Hernandez hopes for the last time this year.
It all comes down to this. Had to build a suspense. Although it could come down to this 2 more times. I mean, we may not be done wrecking. So I'm curious to see here. This time Hernandez, up top, same thing, but is Barkley going to be more ready for it? What about Curtis Kelly? As it's time to go right here, you better be ready. Oh, Barkley's ready. Oh, but Curtis Kelly slowed him down. Kelly didn't go. Barkley was on the throttle, and Kelly did not go. So here's Barkley, hopefully with momentum to get by right here in the corner. He's got to get side by side, unable to do so. He's several links back. Hernandez, is just saying, thank you, Kelly. Appreciate the help. Maybe there's something going on there.
Mellors in the wall.
What else is new? Nothing. However, we're watching Hernandez, Kelly, and Barkley decide who's going to win this race. They only got to get around, a couple thousand feet right here. No wrecks behind them. This race is going to be official for Hernandez, Kelly, and Barkley. What's Kelly got for Hernandez? I told you I like to see 2 burnouts. Kelly climbs the wall. Barkley's
here comes Barkley.
Just put it in there. Here comes the 9. Oh, they're right there.
Oh no! But Barkley,
send it in there.
Barkley had enough. Winning the race and the war. Angel Hernandez will win here in Music City, Tennessee. Wow.
Yeah, Joey Maines is going to just get by Justin Barkley. Kelly to 4th. Let's focus on Hernandez, please, and Barkley. There's some taps going on right there. I wasn't sure if that was a friend tap or a congratulations tap or a frustration tap. But I assume perhaps it was congratulations. Barkley did everything he had to do. He just couldn't get there.
Yeah, I mean you couldn't have done that any better, really. If you're Angel Hernandez, you cannot not have done that any better. I feel like, and just an amazing drive all season long for your season 7 champion, Angel Hernandez, 17-year-old out of Mexico. But I don't want to discredit Justin Barkley because he drove a flawless race, all race long. So as we're going to work on go ahead and getting your top 3 up to the waiting room, and we're going to watch Angel Hernandez is done burning it down. We'll go ahead and get
This is out of hand. I wanted 2 burnouts. Oh, well, I mean, this is pretty cool. Winter championship, clear as day. Can't be disputed. World undisputed champion Angel Hernandez, iSNF series.
as we have our top 3 up here, and John, I guess we'll go 3, 2, and 1. So we'll go with our third place first with the interviews. Justin, this is Alan and Jonathan Leach up in the SRM booth. How's it going, man?
Well, I'm up 1 spot short from winning the championship.
Yeah, but you had a great drive all race long, and I don't think you could have done those last restarts any differently. So what's your mindset as we close out the I know you're obviously bummed, but do you feel like that gives you momentum going into season 8 here in a few weeks?
I mean, definitely feels good to run up front. I run with Angel the whole race. Because, Angel's fast, and shout out to him for winning. Congrats. But yeah, makes you feel good with the speed. You can finish up front.
Yeah, and, like I said, great job all season long, and it's tough to be dedicated to running a whole season with a league, especially on a Saturday evening. So what kind of dedication does it take to be there at every single event? Especially in the summer months when you got vacation going on and you got stuff outside of iRacing going on.
Oh, it definitely upsets my wife quite a bit, but I have to make it up to her and do stuff on the next day. But yeah, it takes some planning to try to get to all the races.
Well, look, man.
1 spot short.
Well, look, before we get you out of here, is there anybody that you'd like to thank and that helps you get here tonight?
Shout out to team owner Rhea for giving me the ride. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to my teammates for helping me and trying to keep me calm.
All right, and that's your third place on the podium tonight, and your second place in points, Justin Barkley.
Thank you, guys.
Once again, congratulations on that championship deal there. And we're gonna bring up, let's see, Joey Maines to the broadcast booth. John, I believe you got Joey Maines.
Joey Maines trying to play spoiler here for the championship. You led a lot of laps, and it was really you, Hernandez, and Barkley, Curtis Kelly for this race. And, with 3 laps to go, I believe you're restarting 4th. Did you think you could have gotten to Hernandez with a few more laps?
I don't think so. He was a lot faster than I was, but my hope was when they were going to 3 and 4 on the white flag lap, they were going to push each other up, and I could squeeze through. But unfortunately, it didn't, and Angel got it done, and congrats to him for getting the championship.
All right. Well, it's curious to know. And the other thing I want to find out is, or that I'm curious about, is on the racing surface, what's the better groove? This is sort of multi-groove. You can see the different grooves on the track. Was it better off, a lineup, or what did you find out as far as getting around the track today?
For me personally, I was best wrapping the bottom as best I could, or even being maybe half a lane up. But if you missed that just the slightest bit, your car was taken off into the corner, and if you were going to probably hit the wall.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate the insight. If there's anyone you want to mention or thank before we let you go for the season, the floor is yours.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast this year, Rhea and the whole admin team, and yeah, shout out again to Angel for getting the championship.
All right, and I believe Joey we're going to get him back down to the waiting room, and it's time for our championship interview with Angel Hernandez. Angel, it's John and Alan in the SRM booth. How's it going, my guy?
Good. How about you guys?
Well, look, man, not only did you win the battle, but you won the war.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm still a bit shocked by that. Just with the whole, like 4 cautions coming out between the last pit stops and that finish. So this just kept me on my toes that whole entire last 10 laps, 15 laps.
Yeah, so the one thing I'm curious about is, Justin Barkley on those last few restarts is right there with you, and he's just racing you. What was going through your mind? Did you think at one point that maybe Justin Barkley's got my number for the night?
I think mid-race, I thought that maybe he could have gone out in front but I also kept in mind that track position is pretty good around here. But yeah, I don't know. I just, like I said, just kept my foot in the pedal, and at the end of it, came out first.
Well, look, man, once again, congratulations on winning season 7. And, I got to know, are you looking to make it a third championship going into season 8 here?
I mean, hopefully. Obviously, things happen throughout the season or during the playoffs. So, like I said, the goal is always to win, but sometimes a couple things will get in the way.
Look, man, before we get you out of here, is there anybody that you think that anybody that you'd like to think to help get you here tonight?
Yeah, just all the guys in the JGR 23XI alliance. So Michael, Josh, Tristan, Shane, and who else? Bad time to forget names, but everyone in there just really helped me out throughout the season.
Well, all right, Angel. Once again, congratulations on that second championship here in season 7, and we look forward to seeing you in Daytona here in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
And that was your championship winner there, winning the war and the battle, Angel Hernandez. And we are going to go ahead and go through our race results here. As we bring those up, here we go. Let's take that away and set. Angel Hernandez wins the battle and the war. Joey Maines finishes second. Justin Barkley rounds out your podium with a third place finish and finishes second in points. Curtis Kelly finishes fourth. Jared McCauley rounds out your top 5 with Charles Roberson coming in P6. Austin Reedy, your pole sitter, will finish 7th. Matty Fornes will finish 8th. P9 will go to Chase Harden. And rounding out your top 10 will be Fabricio Lamana. Steven Sear will finish 11th. Tristan Bailey will finish 12th. Chris Van Masterks will finish 13th. Robert Lynch Jr. will finish 14th. And 15th, we'll see San Jose Arenas, Jackson Brewer with Jason Ricketts finishing 16th. We're finishing 17th will be Rhea Ferris. Matt Metler will finish 18th. Finishing 19th will be John Hopley. Shane Posey will finish 20th. Adrian San Jose Arenas will finish in 21st. Hunter Cole will finish 22nd. Christian Delgado will finish in 23rd. Alexander Monet will finish 24th. Jimmy Johnson will finish in that 25th position. Maddie Moniak will finish 26th. Casey Tomlinson will finish 27th. 28th will go to Michael Gervey. Chris Smith will finish 29th. Derek Cook will finish 30th. Maid Shook will finish 31st. And winning the race of the beer stand will be Danny Solo. 32 cars entered this race to do battle. And one car, Angel Hernandez, will bring home the championship. And we're going to wrap it up here for season number 7 with iSNF Cup Series as they start their new season on July 13th. But meanwhile, as you walk through life, please don't play in traffic. And until we meet again, good night.